recording. Cool. Okay. So that is an API. Okay. I won't go to different types of now. Okay. I'm again making someone as admin. Okay. Because I'm getting, if I'll keep approving, we'll not have any class now. Pratik, you are the host right now. Okay. You guys can lower your hands. Shubham and Pratik. Okay, so I'll not go to that type of APIs like REST, SOAP, and other things. Okay, so you guys can read that from the online. That's pretty same thing. Okay, now coming to the API. Okay, if you guys try to visualize. Okay, let's share the screen once. Okay, anyone can speak up if you are visualizing a API. What are the components you are seeing over there? Anyone?
We have the head,
Okay.
parameter
Hmm.
and body.
Okay.
Response, request, header,
Great.
endpoint.
Nice. Okay, so hope everyone has this postman. Acha, post disabled participants. अरे यार मैं खुद ही. Hey, can you allow sharing screen, Pratik?
Let me check it.
Yeah. So basically, okay, how many have seen this postman stuff tool? Almost everyone has seen. Okay, because when I'm imagining or I'm trying to visualize this particular API, a particular postman screen comes into my picture where I can see a method that maybe post, get, put, option, something like that. Okay, I have a URL, okay, which consists of a protocol, a URI, maybe a path parameter, and some of the query parameters. Then we'll have a header, we'll have a body. Then body have different types also. Correct. When it comes to raw, it can be text, JSON, XML. Then again, if it is not raw, it can be a URL encoded, a form, and GraphQL, other things also. Aha, wait. Postman. So everyone can see my postman here.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Sorry. Okay, cool. So
we are able to see us.
Nice. Let me minimize this one. Okay, cool. So here, okay, in this particular postman screen, consider this much only. Okay, what you guys can see, a particular API has a method. A method can be any of these, but mostly it is like get, post, put, patch, and delete. Okay, previously patch used to be update. Okay, now coming to this particular, this you can say URL that consists of a protocol, okay, and a URI, and so this is the path parameter / API, and after question mark what comes, that's the query parameter. Okay, I'm just telling it in the brief, we'll go deep later. Okay, then that whatever you give in the parameter, that looks like this, and we have this some header. Okay, these are the auto generated headers, and we have this a body. Okay, in the body, if you will select the raw format, you have text, JavaScript, JSON, and everything. Okay, if you are giving selecting a form data or you are encoded, will come this later. Okay, and whenever you are trying to hit a particular API, okay, it gives you a response. Okay, so normally what it looks like, like there is a API, I'm hitting that particular API, a response is getting, we are getting a response. Okay, so now we'll go like a question format. Okay, suppose I have given you this particular API. Okay, this is a get API, and I'm asking you to test this particular API. Okay, anyone can give some scenarios on how you are testing this API. Simple get API. Okay, Do I need to see your faces again, guys? Okay, Vani joined. Vani,
Yes.
yeah, can you give us some scenario to test this particular API?
Get
Okay. So
post.
basically you will say, you are telling like we have to change those methods and see how it's behaving. Correct. Get post
Yes.
those things. Next. Okay, let me tell you guys. Okay, because it's taking time mostly. So see, let's take an example of any login page. Okay. Any login page that may consist of a particular username and a password. Correct. Okay. And it gives us a, what you can say, basically it allows us to log in. If you are giving any scenarios for that particular thing, okay, so from a UI point of view, what are the scenarios we are going to get? Okay, you will just say like, I will play with the password, I'll play with the text field, okay, and I will try to log in and I will see what is happening. But from a API point of view, okay, when it's come, there are n number of scenarios that is coming. And again, I'm repeating, guys, okay, we are not doing the class right now. I'm just giving you overview, like what are the possibilities in the API testing. Okay, later point of time, we'll put those things in the automation also. Okay, that's why I'm just giving a brief class. And after that, we'll decide like how many sessions or classes I need to take. And I will divide you guys into a group mostly. Okay. So if you are giving, okay, you guys can comment on the different sessions, not session particularly, scenarios, whoever you have in mind. Okay. And if you guys agree ki, this could have been, just gives a thumbs up. So the first thing is like, okay, when it comes to API testing, if you have a login API, okay, suppose you have a username and password, okay, and when you are trying to hit, the first thing comes to a picture like what should be the method. Okay, so I want to see in your comments where I can see the comments. I want to see the in the chat like what should be the method. Okay, my vote will be like post. Okay, for a login API, I am suggesting a post. Guys, please be a part of the conversation. Post, cool, post, creates user data, post. Anyone who is saying it will not be a post, it can be put or get. Okay.
So I think we are injecting the data, right? So for that purpose, we have to use post, right?
Good. But you are fetching also na some data.
For fetching, we can use that get one.
You can say put because it can go and update your number of session or something.
Okay.
Correct. It can be put also. So
Okay,
what
so the difference between put and get is basically
difference between put and get will give you fetch you the data. Okay, done. And put will update the data.
okay. In the same field basically, or it's like a new entry. How it is?
Yeah. Okay. Let me show you some code that I have written. Okay. Let me share my screen once. New share. Code. Okay. Can you guys see my code? Basically VS code.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So here, if I'll come to instances in the user here, that is an HTML sheet, DB, API ingredients.py. Yeah. मिनिमाइज इसको मिनिमाइज कैसे करता हूँ हाँ ओके so I have this particular written this get ingredients correct and I have given method here get. Okay, so basically what this API will do is like if you are hitting and with the endpoint slash ingredients with the method get, okay, it will do whatever I have written inside this particular get ingredients method. Agreed, everyone?
Yes, agreed.
Correct. And here in this particular slash ingredients and with this post method, I have written this. Okay. So is it possible or is it okay if I'm copying this one? Okay. And I'm putting here. Forget our indentation and all. That can be, okay, this is a part of this particular method right now. Correct. This get method. Here what I'm doing, I'm returning something. Okay. And I'm creating something. Possible? Yes, no,
Yes.
something. Possible, na? Let's stop
Yes.
my code. Okay. So I want to stop sharing right now. Okay. Now, so if you will see, there is an industry standard for get. Okay. What is like, if I was saying, okay, get, we will use this to fetch a particular data. But that doesn't mean I have just to fetch the data. Correct. I'm giving a nice example. Okay. Whoever have listened this example, don't say it's repeating. Have you ever tried to swap anything or try to ask anything to your Alexa? For example, I'm trying to buy a pair of sneakers. Okay. I went to Flipkart. I just search for the sneakers and that's done. Correct. And searching should be a get API. Correct. It's not a post.
Yeah. Correct.
But later point of time, if you'll see your Instagram scrollings, your Facebook scrollings, or anything else, YouTube ad, you'll get some ads on the sneakers. Correct.
Correct.
So how you can say we are just trying to fetch the data with when I'm giving a text just like pair of sneakers, maybe some Puma or Nike, something like that. Okay. This can be happened like now, whatever you are trying to search, they are feeding this or they are creating a record out of that. Okay, Bairang Mudaliha is interested for a pair of sneakers right now. Okay, they are feeding that particular data to a AdSense or ad machine, which is showing ad to me. So here I can't say it is just a get call. But okay, that particular get API can call n number of methods which are doing maybe update, create, or delete something. Okay, so never think like, okay, if it is a get method, that will do only get, that will do only post, that will do only delete. Okay, it's up to the developer or the requirement. Okay, what they are going to do. Agreed?
Okay. So it totally depends on inside the code, like in the get method, he has added post as well.
Correct. Okay. So it 100% depends on the code developed or written by the developer. Okay. But when someone is asking what should be for this particular login API, okay, and the answer will be always post, because it's considered like post is the most secured API method. Okay. It includes authorization, authentications, everything. That's why while logging in, okay, we are using post. That is the industry standard. It's not like you have to use post or everyone is using post. Okay. When I was in Myntra, the method was get, literally. Okay. So you never know what they are going to use. Okay. Understand on this thing?
Yeah.
If you have any question,
Yes.
just ask now. Questions? No questions? So, acha, we have some comment putting basically you want to provide data. Okay. So now coming to the next stuff. Okay. You know why? Okay. Coming back to the login stuff, that is the method. Okay. What method we are going to use? Okay. Now giving a scenario on this API stuff, what are the scenarios it can be possible? Okay. In the body, let's suppose it is taking a JSON. Okay. Again, that particular JSON, I'm telling from a point. See, I have a 7 years of experience. So I'm telling from that point of view. Whoever have this particular thing, no, I don't need this particular scenario, they can remove, and I'll publish a blog on this. Okay, I'll share that particular thing. Okay, So what are the possible scenarios on the login API? Okay. If we have a particular, if I have a JSON body, in that particular JSON, at least it will be a username and password, correct? Now that again depends on the length of the, what is the length allowed for a username or what is the length allowed in a password. Okay. And when it comes to a body, you are allowed, okay, meeting will end in 10 minutes. Fine. We'll rejoin the meeting if it ends. Okay. So coming to the next, if it is a body, okay, you have the leverage to put anything inside that particular JSON body. Okay, if it is a text, suppose, and you can do SQL injection or that thing, and you can do anything. Have you ever seen that particular meme key in the car's number plate, someone has written drop a table. Okay, so that can also be possible. So when you are giving scenarios, give them scenarios like this that no one will give. Okay. Now, if it is that, then you obviously you will give them different types of body, like raw JSON, XML, XML. If it is allowing only JSON, it should not allow XML. Those small things. Then you can give scenarios under authorization and authentication. Okay, you will see what and basically who can tell what is the difference between authorization and authentication. So 401 authentication, correct? Authentication, and 403 is authorization. Difference anyone can tell? Anyone, please?
So your screen is not visible.
I'm not showing anything. I'm typed here in the chat.
Okay.
So
I
basically,
think authorization basically is like it's like you are giving the like what, not the authentication. Basically, it's the access kind of thing, right?
okay.
Um,
And what is authentication?
Authentication, what we can say, like no idea. We're confusing actually.
Okay, cool. Okay, authentication is for the verification and authorization, basically access rights. Can anyone give some simple example? I'm thinking of a simple example. I forgot. Okay, so
Authorization can be a particular access to a sheet, to doc sheet, whereas authentication could be logging into that particular account of using that sheet.
cool, nice. Thanks, Sogat. Okay, authorization is submitting admin access. Cool. Okay, giving you a simple example. Okay, suppose Surya Jain wants to enter waiting room. Okay, suppose you have a key or you are going to a mall. Okay, everyone is authenticated to go to a mall, correct? So basically they will just do a checkup if you have something called sharpen or you have something called food, correct? If you don't have those two things, you are allowed to go inside that particular mall, correct? But have you ever tried to go into that AHU room, okay, or the security camera room? Okay, that particular door is open, but you are not allowed to go inside that thing, correct? So it's like when you are trying to entering to the mall, okay, because you have the pass. Okay, giving you a simple pass example. Okay, the IPL is going on. Okay, you have a IPL ticket. Okay, so you can enter to the stadium. Okay, but you are not authorized to go to the dressing room of any of the team. Correct. Despite you have the keys, okay, despite you have the pass to enter to that particular stadium, you are not allowed to go to some part of the stadium. Okay, that's called authorization. That is 401 authentication and 403 authorization. Everyone cleared about this 401 and 403? Okay, now when it comes to the 401, 403, these are called client side errors. Okay, so basically, if anything issue is with the client, for example, when you are trying to hit the particular API, either you are you don't have a particular key or you are sending it in a wrong format. Okay, so anything that has problem with the client side, that consider in the 400x errors. Okay, that can be 400 bad request. Example, like if the developer is expecting in a particular format, okay, but you are sending it in a different format, okay, then that will give you a 400 bad request. Okay, and suppose here you have 20-30 members. Okay, you are trying to hit a particular API at the similar and the same time. Okay, but that particular API rate limiting is 5. Okay, don't think about rate limiting. Basically, it will allow maximum 5 numbers of call in a single point of time. Okay, so that at that time it will give you 429. Okay, sorry, too many requests. So similarly, if it is success, if client and server both are good, and in the whatever data you are trying to access is given, or whatever data you are trying to create is created, then it will give you a 200. Okay, so okay is the 200. Okay, okay, or 201 created. Now coming to the 300 series. Okay, 300 series, like if it is redirecting to some other API or to some other server, 500s are like server side error. Okay, so these I'm not teaching you these things. This can be a scenario in the API. When someone is saying ki test this API, you have to tell all these scenarios. Okay, like all the status code 200, 300, 400s. Okay, now 500s, all these things should be covered. Okay, now coming to little bit of security part. Okay, when it comes to the header parts, authorization token, you can play around that particular thing. For example, my previous organization was Mpocket. Okay, suppose I have some authorization token from Mpocket, and I'm trying to access some of their sites or APIs using that particular token. Okay, it should give me error. It should say ki this token doesn't valid or expired. Okay, if it still allows me, that's a bug, we should report. Correct. Similarly, when it comes to authorization token, there is something called cookies. If everyone or someone knows about cookies, cookies are like, it's a temporary or data holder for your particular application or your browser. Okay, so it can have the data of your login at particular which time you have logged in, what are the authentication token, and when that particular thing, cookie or authorization token, is going to expire. Okay, if someone has your cookies, he can log in on your behalf. So cookies went out. So we'll come to these things in the classes later. Okay, in a detailed format. Okay, now let's after the cookies. Okay, there is something called SSO. You can use this particular thing also. SSO is like single sign-on. You guys must have used Google and YouTube. Okay, if you are logged into Google, it will not ask you to log into YouTube, correct? Because they are using the same what I can single sign-on. If you are logged into a particular API, there that particular authorization token. For a simplified manner, I'm saying authorization token is something else. Okay, that is getting shared between each and every SSO sites. Okay. So basically, how many scenarios? I think 10 covered, correct? Almost. So these are the scenario what we can tell. Now you guys can throw questions if you have any doubt on any of these things. Okay. Because now after we have 1 minute left, we'll plan ki how we are going to plan for the classes, how we are going to segregate again who are actually interested, who are just came for to see how I'm teaching and all. So if you have any questions, raise your hands, ask, unmute yourself, or put in the message.
No, no way.
Okay. Ushav, you are asking something?
No, thank you.
Okay. So, okay, we have 1 minute left. No questions. What would be- So, any suggestions how we can process?
Sir.
Because, who asked?
Sir, I'm Kavya.
Yeah, Kavya. Don't say sorry.
Sir, how can we use a get method instead of post method and post method instead of a get method? Because both having different functionalities, right? How can we use
I got your point. Okay. See, Kavya, when I'm saying post, when I'm saying get, okay, it's just like, okay, I'm giving an example. Suppose you are in a house, okay, and there are 4 rooms, okay, and each room has different levels on them, okay. One has get, one has put, one has post, and one has delete, okay. And you are trying to enter the room. After seeing